Published by Fly High Works and Circle Entertainment, and it's just a game about shrine maidens. And we're tasked by the Antler God to save the world, basically. Just make sure that Earth and Heaven get reconnected, because right now they are separated by the devil, basically. And we're gonna use Yamato. She's generally the fastest character. And I can get a countdown if that's okay, maybe. Something.
Sure thing. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So right off the bat, we have some text boxes. There are 15 in the entire game if you use any language except for English. So we don't use English. And the first thing you'll really notice about the game is how fast all of the characters are. Like, stupid fast. And also how small their like hurt boxes are. And what we just did was unlock the first shrine. There are 4 shrines in every single level, and we just need to basically unlock all of those, and then we get to reach a boss at the end of each level. So what I'm doing right now is just collecting some SP, which is our combo meter. And the more that we have the combo, we can like open doors, treasure chests, shrines. And I'm gonna take some intentional damage here to set up for a death abuse. And the reason we use the death abuse is so we can get SP pretty much immediately back. Otherwise, we have to do a bunch of combo routing, and it's actually just slower altogether. So dying just refills all of our health and SP. So right now, I'm going to take this key up to the door. These are also really good spawns right now. All of the spawns in the game, except for maybe like 3, I think, are RNG. And there are some load zones that you can just walk outside of and the enemies won't spawn, but it's really hard to spot those. So we only have about 3 or 4 in the game that we can use to our advantage right now. Making our way back to the central plaza of the first level. And right now we just picked up our first secret, which also does the same thing as that death abuse that we saw earlier. Just refills all of our SP and health immediately. And that's the 4th shrine down. And we're going to the boss.
We've got $25 from Connor's dad that says, good luck on the Kamiko run. Happy birthday to Connor Bonner.
Thanks, Dad.
Alright, so those were some SP and health upgrades. We don't take those though, they're slower. We only take those in the 100% run. So our first boss is going to be really dictated by where our position is. He's gonna come right towards us, and we really want him to just hop as few times as possible. Otherwise, we're gonna waste a lot of time. That first cycle is 2-1-1-1, I think. And then his weak point just kind of comes out of his head, and we just have to hit it 3 times and then repeat the process for the fight. And it's really easy to spot where the spear, like the weak point's gonna fall, because it'll be the 5th place, 7th place, and 9th place out of all of the orbs. That one was a little bit hard to spot just because it spawned right in the middle of the switch, and those are really annoying. So right there, I stood a little bit north of where I had been standing, just so he would do 3 hops instead of 4. So this is a pretty much perfect fight right now. Only thing that could have been better was the placement of those weak point orbs. So we're done with level 1. That's a pretty good time.
We've got $50 from Annex that says, here's to Repent. Howdy, partner. You got this. And remember, could be worse. You could be playing Golf Story.
Thanks, partner. Golf Story is a RPG of the year for 2017. I don't know how many of you knew that. So right now, we are just going to do some comboing and routing and setting up for the rest of the level. So if you have any more donations, that would be great.
Sure thing. We've got $25 from Dankest of Dungeons. Hey, Repent, Dankest here. Just wanted to say I hope all those practice runs at Jack's pay off. You still owe me a rematch at Ping Pong when you get back. Best of luck from me, Bear, Jen, and Annex.
Thanks. All right. So right now, we're just gonna go into this teleporter and head towards the northern part of the level for our second shrine, where we're gonna do a pretty cool trick. Right now I'm hugging the wall so we don't spawn any enemies. It's just like I was talking about, there's some load zones that you can just miss. That way you don't have to spawn any enemies. I got some health right there, it's a little bit slower, but just to be safe. Something else I forgot to mention is if we leave one enemy alive out of a spawn of enemies, then none of them will respawn. And that's important to us just because some of the spawns in levels 3 and 4 can get pretty hairy, and we just don't want any of them getting in our way. So I'll explain how this works after I do it, just because it's a little bit tough. Alright, so we got that pretty well. What we actually did was skip a cutscene by hitting the pause menu right after that A press for that switch. And that will take us out of the cutscene animation. And when we do that, we're able to just move on our own and give us free reign.
Something that really helps enable that trick is a trick with a movement. Normally, you're very fast, but you need to use the D-pad to complete that trick, right?
Yeah, I didn't actually think about that when I said that. Yeah, you need to use the D-pad for that trick. When you use the D-pad, you actually move like, 1.5 times faster than if you were just moving normally, but only when you're going in diagonals. Not exactly sure why that works, but it does, so use it. You can do it without using the D-pad, but you'd probably have to cut the grass first to set up for that. Alright, some of these positions for these enemies are kind of annoying right now. It's a good spawn right there, not in our way or anything like that. And we're gonna come upon our second secret just to refill our health and SP. I think that's our final shrine for level 2. Gonna hug the wall again just so we don't spawn any enemies. Alright, so level 2 goes by pretty fast, and it can be either really, really good for the run, or it can just like completely destroy you and you hate your life. So there's some RNG at the top right now. I'm gonna run right up there. I got sniped. That was pretty medium RNG, like moderate. It's gonna spawn somewhere on his body and you just have to kind of react to where it's gonna be. I'm gonna go for a quick kill right here. I don't think I'm gonna get it. Yeah, I was too slow. It's alright. And for this part, he always spawns from the same place. So we just wait until those 3 orbs reach the bottom, and we come up here and get that. And that's level 2.
We've got a $15 donation from R2JL, because it's just not GDQ without TaskBot. And speaking of, we have a $500 donation from Hanner46.
Let's go.
It says, money for our overlord TaskBot. Dead humans make poor minions, so let's kill cancer.
Alright, so level 3, they introduced a kill room mechanic, where you just have to kill all the enemies in the given space. And I missed it there, but what you can do is the same trick from the bridge skip and just pause right after you kill the last enemy, and it actually skips the cutscene. These guys are being real jerks to me. So what you can do with these guys is hit them with the weakest attack of your combo. Missed the cutscene skip again. But it's kind of hard to get the weakest hitbox. So right now, I opened that up just to make sure I didn't waste any SP. Because later on we're going to need to get the secret in the level, and we don't want to get it early, so I just had to make sure that I spent the SP wisely. Now right now, we didn't really want to have to talk about it, but slowdown is happening, and really that's just a lag portion of the game that goes on. We don't really know why it goes on, but it slows down the Switch to ridiculous frame rates. I'm not exactly sure how much, but I'd guess anywhere between 15 and 20 frames. Maybe this is actually really bad. Doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it can definitely kill runs. Like I said earlier, the hurt boxes on the characters are pretty small, but the hit boxes for basically every switch in the game and every shrine in the game are pretty giant, so you can hit the shrines from pretty far away. Right now we're taking some more intentional damage to set up for another death abuse. Alright, so we have the third shrine, and I'm just going to go ahead and die, and we'll get all of our SP back.
Most of the major things in this stage have been mostly said so far, so that now would be a good time for donations.
Absolutely. We've got $50 from Titanium Magneto. Repent. Best wishes from China, my man. And to the guys on the couch, I love you. May the RNG be with you.
Thanks so much. Titanium, the homie.
We've got $10 from Pink Rupee. Thanks for showing off this really cool game. Clear that corruption.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
$15 from Divine Aeon. Another great AGDQ this year. I appreciate everything you guys do as a group. Thanks to all the staff and runners.
Yeah, actually, real quick, let's give a hand for the AGDQ staff. They do an amazing job every single year. Alright, that was a little bit shaky, but we're on to the level 3 boss, which plays off of the idea of kill rooms again. So it's pretty thematic in that sense. For every character except Yamato, the fight can be pretty messy, but Yamato cleans it up really fast. So we just have to wait for all of the enemies to spawn and then just wipe them out. Those bullets can appear if you take too long on the later phases of the fight, but they're always there in the beginning. And then we'll run down here just so we can react a little bit better to where the weak point spawns. I messed that up. Alright. And then we're going to use our special attack to kill the rest of the enemies, which we haven't talked about yet, but if you have 50 SP or more, you can do that and it'll do just like a super move. And we're gonna release this one early to keep up our combo. Now we have 200 SP to go into stage 4, which sets up for a pretty good run. Yeah, we're making good time.
We've got $50 from Tepito J. Good luck for myself and the rest of the Golf Story crew.
Thanks, Tepito.
So many golf story shoutouts.
Golf Story is the best game of 2017, what can I say? Alright, so right now we are just doing some more routing and cleanup. I knocked out those bushes and some of those enemies up there just so it won't hurt us later. We have to carry an item all the way up there. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but if you drop your item, you actually have to go back all the way to where it was, where you picked it up. So dropping an item anywhere close to its destination is actually a terrible thing. I'm gonna do some more cleanup. A little bit of sloppy movement there, we'll tighten it up. Alright, so we open this back up so we can make it through later on. Have a chest right here. Ah! Alright, that doesn't always happen, but sometimes, you know how I said the hitbox is really giant? Sometimes it's not. And you just get a sword input or the attack input instead.
We've got $15 from Daiho. Kamiko is such a wonderfully relaxing Shrine Maiden monster genocide simulator. Great to see it being run at AGDQ.
Yeah. Doesn't have too much lore, but this is probably one of my favorite games of 2017.
Right next to Golf Story, right?
Yes, right next to Golf Story. Alright. So here we have another quill room. There we go, we got that cutscene skip that time. I'm gonna have to actually get some health. This is pretty low. Just like earlier, we picked up that orb and opened that treasure chest just so we make sure we don't waste any SP. We're gonna do the kill room again. We actually have to do this kill room 3 times in a row. I'm gonna hug the left wall again. Ah, I missed it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so there are very few points in the game where you can actually avoid spawns, but when they're there, they're actually really helpful. And then we're gonna use our special again here. If you have any more donations, that would be cool.
Absolutely. $20 from Rough Bacon. This is a shout out to the runners taking the graveyard shift. You folks are the true unsung heroes. Keep up the good work and Repentmf, take a well-deserved nap when your run is done.
Thanks so much.
We've got $20 from Anonymous that simply says, good luck on the run, Repent.
Thank you.
We've got $12.34 from the Kitty Cat. Glad to see some really awesome games and runners in play tonight. Although that's always true, I guess. Let's get that next setup block unlocked. Thanks and good luck to all the runners and the donators as well. We've also got $50 from Bear140. Timing's just a little off, but hey, Repent, wanted you to know that your current game time is 19 minutes. Good luck. Let this donation go to Runner's Choice.
Thank you so much. It's actually kind of misleading. The timer at the top doesn't display a great view of what you actually have on your time. So knowing what I have is really nice. All right, so this is gonna be pretty tight because I'm not supposed to have 1 health here. So we're just gonna grab the secret early. It's just so we don't die. There we go. Alright, so that's the last shrine of the ruins stage, and we're gonna go on to the final boss. Most of the scary parts of the run are pretty much over, so we can relax about having to waste any more time. Alright, so the final boss is, I don't know, what's his name? I don't remember his name.
Antler Devil?
Koku.
Alright, Orion's the homie, he remembers.
Antler Devil.
Antler Devil.
Just wait for it.
Alright, so this fight is actually, I'd say it's one of the easier fights, but it's not the easiest. With other characters, it's pretty dumb, but just like everything else, Yamato just makes easy work of it. Right here is a pretty safe place, conveniently. I don't think I've ever been hit right here except for by an enemy. So we can just stand right there and hit the weak point when it comes out. This part, second phase, is all RNG, so you kind of want to stay towards the center of the stage. So you can just kind of react to it a little bit easier. Alright, that wasn't that bad. And like I said, this is like the safest place in the entire stage. It's actually dumb. I can just sit here and swing my sword all day and not get hit. And we'll do the same thing and go over here. Alright. Cool. So there's one more boss phase left. And that is, the colloquialized term is Antler Devil. There's really nothing else better to call him because his name is, well, I don't have time to say a 5-syllable name every time I want to talk about him. In fact, actually now that I think about it, Antler Devil is 5 syllables. Alright, so, really makes you think. We're just going to build up a huge combo right here, so later on I don't have to really worry about getting a combo, because this part is pretty difficult to build up a combo if you don't already have anything above 50. For that first phase, you really have to you have to decide whether or not you want to make the blocks do shorter hops, like less hops, or if you want them to do more, because there's not really a faster or slower way. Like, if you didn't attack the weak point, then it would be slower, but it's really up to preference, because if you want to do that combo build, you really do want to let it just ride out. Alright, so this is the last phase of the fight. And it's really just a cinematic, basically. All of the hitboxes are really big, but none of them are very threatening, because all the hitboxes in the game do 1 damage each. All of the enemies' hitboxes. So it looks really cool. Like, this fire is amazing, but nothing's really threatening at all. Alright, so time is going to be when I touch the final shrine, which should be pretty soon. I'll let you know when. I'll give like a countdown. Alright, so time is in 3, 2, 1. And that is Kamiko. I would have had it in English, but Japanese is faster. Any language is faster than English. So 23:15, that's a pretty good time. I'm gonna shout out to the Discord because our community is amazing. Check out Golf Story too. But the Kamiko Discord, you can find that on the resources page of SRCom and under Kamiko on there. Let's see what else. I'd like to shout out especially to Games Done Quick, just because Doctors Without Borders and Prevent Cancer Foundation are both super awesome causes, and my mom has fought cancer twice, so it's actually a really personal topic for me. So I'm really happy to even be here, and I'm happy that you guys do the event. Thanks for having me. You guys have any last remarks?
No, it was a good run. Congratulations.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
And thank you, Repent. All right, looks like I've been informed by Perry Riposte that I did manage to get the pronunciation mostly right with another $20 donation. Thank you kindly, Riposte. They also add, loving this marathon, been watching all week. Let's stop cancer together. We've got a $150 anonymous donation. Already Friday? Oh, come on. Why does it have to stop? Love what you are all doing, helping so many people. I just want everybody to donate $5. That's an amount nearly every one of us can spend. Thank you all at AGDQ, all the attendees, all the runners, all the supporters on the couch, and the tech crew, and everyone else behind the scenes. Thanks to all the donators as well. Come on, guys, we can do it. To 2 million and beyond. Greetings from Germany. We got $15 from Akidel. As a llama and alpaca aficionado, an alpacacionado, that's very hard to pronounce, I can confirm that alpacas are, in fact, better. Keep up the great work, these guys. We've got $250 from Doomrick that simply says, "Let's go, TaskBot."